everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angie and I'm glad you're here. Today I want to talk to you about decluttering and downsizing, organizing your house. This is a process Phil and I have been going through for about 4.5, maybe even 5 years. We started this process quite some time ago, and it's a process that continues to this day. In fact, about 2.5 years ago, we downsized the square footage of our home by more than half. So it is a process that we feel passionately about and that we work hard toward as a goal within our own personal relationships. I want to talk to you about the top 3 things that I have learned, and I really wish that I had these tips at the forefront of my mind when I first started this process on my own home, in my own life. The number 3, I would say to you, always take before and after photographs, always. Regardless of the size of the project, even if you're just doing a very small space, take before and after photographs. And the reason for that is, it's a rare set of circumstances where we are able to start something, carry it through all the way to the finish and walk away in one sitting. Somebody needs to be fed, somebody needs dropped off, somebody else needs picked up, your husband needs your help, the laundry needs to be flipped, it goes on and on and on. You're going to want those pictures so you can actually see what it looked like when you began and what it looked like when you ended. You're going to think, okay, but if it's something small, I'm already going to know that. Trust me, you're not. You're really not. The other thing having those photographs does is it helps you build on your success. There are going to be times when you're overwhelmed, and looking back at those pictures shows you that you not only can do it, you have done it, and you've got photographic evidence of that. So looking back on those photographs gives you a sense of accomplishment and allows you to think back on the feelings that you had when you succeeded and build upon those. You want to retrain those muscles and you want to build upon your success, and having those photographs is a great way to do that. My second tip is to know where your items are going when they leave your house. So you're going to organize the space, and you know you're going to have items that you keep, items that you throw away, and items that you donate. Where are you going to donate them? Where are they going? What are you going to do with them? If you don't know ahead of time, it's far too likely that you'll just end up rehoming them someplace else in your house, maybe even multiple spots. Like, how many times have you been in a situation where you're in a room and you decide you no longer need these items, and you fill up a box and you tape it shut and you shove it out of the way. Shove it out of the room because you're working, right? So you don't want it in your way, you shove it out of the way. You shove it into the next room, you keep right on working. So say you're in your kitchen, you shove this off to the side of the living room. It gets pushed into a corner so it's not in anybody's way, and you go on with the kitchen. You get the kitchen done, it's the end of the evening. You're tired, you want to sit down and relax, and you deserve that rest. You've been working hard all day, right? So what happens is this box just sits in the corner. It's just sitting there. And you think, well, I'll deal with it tomorrow or next weekend, right? It's fine, it's out of the way. And then somebody calls and says, hey, we're going to stop by. And you're like, well, I don't want that box just sitting there. Just put it in the closet for now. So it gets shoved in the closet. Then you need to vacuum the floor, but you can't get to the vacuum because that box is in the way. So it gets shoved into the hallway. Now you can't really open the front door all the way because the box is in the way. So maybe it gets put in the attic or the garage or the basement. And this just continues, right? And then it's there for how long? Now this box has gone from, you've taken items out of your cupboard, put them in your living room, put them in a closet, put them in the hallway, and now they're in the basement or the attic or the garage. To be rehomed, who knows when, right? If you have a game plan and you know where you're taking those things ahead of time, they're not going to get rehomed within your house. So if you're going to donate your items, find out where you're going to, figure out where you're going to donate them. Look into local charities, local homeless shelters, local organizations that you can drop containers off at, like Goodwill or the DAV store. Look at homeless shelters, look at church organizations that help people get back on their feet. Consider young adults who are moving into their first apartment, or kids going to college. Do you have items they could take? Whatever the case may be. And if you have items you want to sell, where are you going to sell them? There are online thrift stores, there are local thrift stores. Make those decisions ahead of time so that you have a game plan in mind for those boxes as you're packing them up. My advice would be, if you have this ability, while you're filling the box, have somebody else take it out to the car and dispose of it. Take it straight to the donation location, or take it to the garage to be photographed and loaded up online for sale, whatever the scenario may be. But have a game plan in mind before you start. It eliminates just rehousing those items throughout your home. My third tip is to start small. I recommend a kitchen drawer. The reason I recommend a kitchen drawer, there's a couple of them actually. First of all, it's a very limited space. So you're not giving yourself a huge time commitment. You're not promising that you're going to do some all-day task that's going to be overwhelming, or you're going to get tired halfway through, or something's going to come up halfway through and you're not going to be able to finish it. It's also a space you're going to see every day. So that success, the change in that drawer, is going to feed your motivation to continue. It feeds the gratification you feel from your success, and it helps you get ready for bigger, larger projects. So start small, a couple of drawers, then you can move on to a cabinet or two. If you have a large kitchen, maybe you do all of the uppers on one side, or all of the lowers on one side of the stove, or whatever the situation may be. But break it up into manageable, bite-sized pieces and make sure you're taking those before and after photographs. The other reason I suggest you start in the kitchen is because most of the time we're not emotionally attached to items that are in our kitchen. So what you do is develop a routine that works best for you and your family. Whether you decide you're going to do 1 or 2 specific spaces in that kitchen, whether you say I'm going to work for an hour and then stop, whether you say I'm going to work during nap time, or I'm going to stay up a half an hour after the kids go to bed, whatever works for your specific family, it makes it manageable for you. But working in a space that is not full of emotionally items, that's not full of items you're emotionally attached to, makes it much easier for you to progress and strengthen those skills, develop your routine before you get to items you're emotionally attached to. When I talk about items you're emotionally attached to, clothing, books, photographs, your kids' toys, your youngest anything, whatever belongs to your youngest is difficult to get rid of. It doesn't matter what it is or how old your youngest is. It's hard to get rid of those things, so that's challenging. So if you have more than one child and you're, for example, going through your kids' clothes, start with your youngest. Don't end with your youngest, start with your youngest. Especially if you have kids that are the same gender, or kids that can hand down clothes to each other, because if you start with your youngest, you have time to look at those and be emotionally attached, pass them on, and then move to the next child and look at that youngest and go, he's going to look so cute in this, or she's going to love these. And it takes some of that emotional sting away from it, and it leaves you with a sense of accomplishment rather than a sense of sorrow. So starting small builds that success, strengthens those muscles, and prepares you for larger projects and projects that you're going to have emotionally attachments to the items that you're going through and sorting through. So those are my 3 tips. I hope they provide some guidance and some help for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I appreciate every one of you. You guys have a great day. Come back and see me soon.